What's up, YouTube? Kris Gethin here. Just got back from a lot of travel overseas in the UK. It was good to get over there to the Body Power Expo, meet a lot of people over yonder, got a lot of video shoots done, a lot of photo shoots done, and got to travel as well to Ireland to meet with Anna Bio, which was one of our custom manufacturers that are helping with a very innovative delivery system, specifically for a new type of innovative creatine and glutamine, microencapsulated glutamine that we're going to be bringing out. And there's a couple of other products that we're looking into studying at the moment. So it was a good time, and also the main thing, I got to visit with my family over there and have a roast dinner. So now we are on episode 22. This is a 22nd episode of the Knowledge and Mileage podcast, and this one is going to be called, I believe, Choosing Commitment Over Comfort. So let's record this bad boy and get this show on the road. What's up, guys? Kris Gethin here, CEO of Caged Muscle, and you are listening to the Knowledge and Mileage podcast. Sounds like I should be going into a show tune now, but no show tunes on this show. Just got back from the UK. I was over in Europe for a couple of weeks, over there for the Body Power Expo. I was working on a bodybuilding.com booth, a Body Shocker booth. It was great to speak to people there, meet and witness some amazing transformations that people are sharing with me. Got the opportunity to host a couple of seminars at Ultimate Fitness in Birmingham on the rooftop, would you believe? Probably the only gym that I know of in the UK that has a rooftop facility or rooftop area for functional fitness. Knowing the weather in the UK, all my UK listeners will know what I'm talking about. But it was beautiful. The entire time that I was there, I don't believe it rained once. It was a real good time, and got to meet with a couple of custom manufacturers over there. We'll be bringing out some innovative products soon, and it was great to meet with them and see basically the leading company when it comes to the type of innovation that we've employed them for, just being at the forefront and spending some time, and obviously had to film inside there for you guys so you can see the difference between the facilities and the processes that go behind our supplement line over some other supplement lines that are possibly made in a bath in someone's bathroom, So more than anything, it was absolutely amazing just to see my family just for the short time. I think I had 4 full days in Wales, where of course I had to have a beautiful roast dinner on my Sunday, but spent some time with my nieces as they're growing up fast. So that was great, but it's always awesome to be back in Boise. I didn't have much sleep while I was there, catching up a little bit now and getting on point. So one of the things that I thought would be a good subject matter to talk upon today, based on a lot that I witnessed, not just in this country, but what I've been witnessing in other countries, that came to the forefront of my brain, was comfort. And I figured I would choose to call this episode Choose Commitment Over Comfort. So it's funny, if you look at the statistics, and I'm not going to go into details in this, if you look at the statistics of illness, death, viruses, illnesses, ailments, in comparison to many, many years ago, when we look at the vast contrast today, it's quite odd. And this is something that I wanted to talk about because I believe that we bring it upon ourselves. We have no one else to blame here except for ourselves, and maybe the society that we allow ourselves to be conditioned to or unconditioned to. So if you look at the amount of diseases and viruses and illnesses and the death, like I think they said in this statistic report that I was reading that women dying under the age of 50 is at an all-time high. And it's quite crazy when you think about it. However, when you look at the increase of obesity, diabetes, heart conditions, heart health, various other conditions that could be complications, The statistics is unrelenting, and it's quite weird. When you look at the comfort that is around us when it comes to electricity, heat, temperature control, we're always looking for our robust slippers, and everything is delivered to us. We could actually have our supermarket deliver food to us and go for that first class airfare. You'd think we should be more conditioned. We'd be living a longer life. We'd have less disease, less illnesses, less viruses. However, it's quite the contrast when, if you think back 100 years ago, they didn't have temperature control. You had to, wash in cold water. You had candlelight. Very rarely you'd have a change of clothes over, a period of a week or maybe months, depending if, you're dealing with poverty or not. However, it seems to be today, it seems to be a reverse role. So that's something that I think is something that we definitely need to address. And this is a reason why we need to go out there and condition our resolve every single day. I'm not saying it needs to be the same thing every single day, but you need to condition that resolve every day. I'm going to talk about immunity now for a second. If you are aware of this guy, Wim Hof, Iceman Hof, they call him. You can follow him on Instagram. The guy has got quite an interesting story, to say the least. Now, I believe he's a Dutchman. He holds a couple of world records. I know that he's the only person that's gone past like the kill zone, I think they call it, in Everest, actually wearing no top at all. Because this guy is conditioned to the cold, and he puts himself in these ice barrels, and he'll submerge himself in the Antarctic in ice, and this has really conditioned him something amazing. Like, this guy can run a very fast marathon pace, and the guy's 57 years old now. And I don't believe he has had any sort of ailment, any sort of sickness, any cold for the past like 15, 20 years. And you always hear the old mother's tale, oh, don't go outside in the cold, you'll catch your death of cold. You need to wrap up warm, or if you've come in and it's been raining outside, they'll wrap you up in warm, dry clothes because you may get sick, which is a lot of bullshit. You don't get sick from being cold. And Iceman Hof has proven this. This is why I do suggest to a lot of people that you put yourself through cold therapy, not only to remove yourself of the inflammatory response from maybe training or systemic inflammatory response. Have a cold. I would mostly have a cold bath after going out for a long cycle ride or after a long run. It just helps get rid of the inflammation. I'm not getting sick after I've put myself in a cold bath or a cryotherapy chamber. Quite the contrary. I believe that it conditions you, it strengthens your immune system. And Iceman Hof would say the same sort of thing. So I believe that you should remove yourself from all these creature comforts that we are surrounded by. We have phones that we can order online from. Everything is delivered to us. We don't have to move. We get into the car. We can put the heat on, the air conditioning on. We even have seated heats and steering wheels right now. My girlfriend's smiling because she's got one. That was her selling point, actually. But she's a millennial, so that's why all these car manufacturers have put heated steering wheels on now, to tap into the millennials that are out there purchasing all these cars. It's gone from colour now, there's a nice colour, to that's got a warm steering wheel, I'll take it. So think of something that you can do every single day that's going to condition your resolve. Now, I do that by going to the gym. I push myself. Some days it's going to be harder, sometimes it's not, but I'm putting myself through an inflammatory response. But, if I'm feeling tired, guess what? I'm getting up. If I don't feel like going to the gym, guess what? I'm going to the gym. If I second guess myself and I think, wow, that's an excuse, I'm going to change that excuse into a commitment. If I think, okay, it's weakness now that is telling me to stay indoors, it's raining outside, don't go out for my cycle ride, I will turn that weakness into a weapon and go out there and ride in the rain. Because I know it's not going to get sick, and hey, newsflash, skin is waterproof. You're not going to drown because it's raining outside. If I was to have that mentality, guess what? I'd never go outside when I was living in Wales. It reigns all the time there. So think to yourself, am I being weak if I don't want to eat this bland food and I reach for a pizza? Well, fuck yeah, you are being weak. So you should condition yourself and get used to eating bland foods, because guess what? There's people out there that cannot even have access to even bland foods. So stop, get out there, quit complaining. If you think to yourself, there's times of nervousness. Maybe you get nervous before public speaking, writing, whatever it may be. That is going to give you an inflammatory response. That's going to get your adrenaline pumping. And the chances of you actually following through a lot of the times, if I'm generalizing right now, is going to be quite less. So you should do the opposite and think, okay, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I'm fearful. Fuck it, I should go do it then. Because otherwise you're going to become another one of these creature comforts. And if you become one of these creature comforts that is used to the first class, that wants to get wrapped up warm, that isn't used to getting wet, guess what? You're just going to get sicker and sicker. And as we get older, that should be our excuse and our ticket to become more conditioned, to exercise more. It's funny, it's as we get older, it's as if we've been given a free ticket to exercise less, when we should be doing the opposite. A 20-year-old has a ticket to exercise less. Not a 70-year-old, not an 80-year-old, not a 90-year-old. In fact, they should be exercising more. Keep conditioning your resolve. So if I think back of all the times that I could have chosen comfort over commitment, I would have never have done cardio the amount of times that I've done it. I never would have stuck to my diets to transform and compete in a bodybuilding show. I never would have got outside when it was raining for my run or cycling to complete an Ironman. And I definitely wouldn't have done the amount of laps in a swimming pool when I could only do 2 in the beginning to complete a 2.3 mile swim in an Ironman. And, there's so many things that I want to do, such as go on a holiday annually. I want to go out there and travel and experience things. If I choose comfort over commitment, guess what? I'm not traveling. If I choose comfort over commitment, I'm not going to go out there and public speak. I'm not going to do this podcast. I'm not going to write those books. I'm not going to have a column in a magazine. I'm not going to have a gym franchise. I'm definitely not going to have a supplement company that is continuing to evolve day after day. I wouldn't be dating Sunshine because I would have been too fearful to go and approach her. If I choose comfort over commitment, it's going to be a shitty life that I'm going to be living. So you need to ask yourself these things every single day. When you feel a point of shame, a point of excuse shrouding over you, ask yourself, am I choosing comfort over commitment? So this is what I'd like every single one of you to do. Get a bit of cardboard, get a paper, get a notebook, write it in your phone, whatever. Much like God, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like a positive over negative, a pro and con list. So choose your comfort and commitment list. Write down where you generally choose comfort. Is it stopping 2 reps short of absolute failure? Not allowing yourself to train with someone because you're scared that they're going to push you too hard? Not going out when it's cold or in the winter and that's your justification of getting out of shape? Is it because when you go to the Cheesecake Factory you don't choose a Cobb salad, which I do, by the way? Try out the vegan Cobb salad, by the way, and add salmon to it. It's the bomb. Best Cobb salad you've ever had. Anyway, I went off there. Or are you going to choose the Adams peanut butter fudge ripple? Well, that's going to be your comfort food, isn't it? So you should choose your commitments. Write those down. I tell you what, it's a very, very powerful list to write down, because you'd be surprised, number one, how many excuses that you come up with. Number two, how many areas that you choose comfort over commitment. A lot of us want comfort. If it's been offered to us, then why wouldn't we? Well, I tell you why. Because it's not conditioning you, and if you become too comfortable, you'll become too comfortable with excuses. Like, I hate it when I hear people say, oh, it's too hot outside, or it's too hard, I'm out of breath, or I'm too tired, I haven't had enough sleep. Bull fucking shit. Shut the fuck up, stop moaning, quit your bitching and get out there. It's not as if that you have life hard. You're not walking 12 miles a day to get your water. You're not out there in 130 degree heat. Like, if I was to complain about that shit, myself and my girlfriend wouldn't have completed our Ironman events in 96 degree heat. That's bullshit. You can fucking get out there, you can do it, you ain't gonna fall apart, you're not gonna melt, you're not gonna drown, you're not gonna die. You've got to condition yourself, because if you don't condition your resolve, then you are no longer controlling your environment. You are being controlled by your environment. Get it? Understand? Comprehende? Sunshine's giggling and smiling and laughing over here. Why? Am I talking about you? Huh?
You're always talking about me in your podcast.
Is that what it is? You think I'm talking about you. You've really put yourself up on a pedestal there, huh? Wow.
I'm the soft millennial.
She's a soft millennial. You said it. You said it. All right. Anyway, so hopefully I've given you a little bit of not food for comfort. I've given you some food to chew on, a little bit of fat there, which will make you take a look in the mirror and decide, am I a comfortable little millennial sat across here listening to this podcast, or am I going to go out there and am I going to condition my resolve? Please do me proud. Get out there and hashtag me on your pictures, hashtag Kris Gethin, of you getting out there conditioning your resolve. Whether you're pushing yourself on the last couple of reps of an exercise, film that shit for me and tag me. If you're going out there for a run on a mountain, hashtag that shit and hashtag it and tag me on me, you know, and especially if you're out there when it's raining. Like, there's a funny thing. Whenever I go back, I didn't do it this time, but usually whenever I go back to Wales, I will hike the highest mountain there, which is Snowdon. Last time I ran it, actually, because I'm a fizz and fiddle now. But generally, my father and I will do it in the dead of winter, because when it's snowing, when you can see the rain at a diagonal force, because it's winding, the wind is so hard. But I tell you what, when we come back down and we get into that beautiful comfort of, like, a warm pub, dry clothes, something as small and minimal like that is amazing, because you've gone out there and you've contrasted yourself. You're out there so you appreciate so much more in life. If you do not condition yourself as much as, on a daily basis, if possible, you're not going to appreciate as much. When I go into my infrared sauna, which is my clear light sauna at home, I don't get out after 10 minutes. I'll get out after 25, 30 minutes, because it's that acute inflammatory response is going to benefit your health. That acute inflammatory response is what gives you that fight or flight mechanism that you'll get from exercise, from high intensity interval cardio, from heat therapy, from cold therapy. But it's that chronic inflammatory response that you get from stress is what is that leads to a decline in your immune system, and then you get sick. So, try to chill out, try to calm yourself, but go for that acute inflammatory response whenever you possibly can, and fight that fear and face that fear. This is the Knowledge and Mileage podcast, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this today. If you did, then please subscribe, leave a comment, and remember, hashtag that shit. I'm Kris Gethin. I'm out. Lovely. Thank you very much for joining, guys. I didn't have a sip of my coffee, all because I'm devoted to you. But now I will. Thank you, lad. I've got the Insta-Fuel in here, by the way. And it's still damn hot. These flasks are friggin' hot, man. When I made that like 2 hours ago. So I'll have to wash this shit down. Lovely.